Steve Gamache here for Chef Knives to Go with another quick look product review. And what we're looking at this time is the Shiro Kamo Yoru Aogami or Blue number 2 Santoku 160 fillet 5mm knife. The way these are constructed, 3 layers. So you've got a soft reactive iron cladding on either side of a hard core cutting edge steel. You can see that cladding line there where it gives way to the core steel down the middle. These have Aogami or blue paper number 2, reactive high carbon steel for that core steel at about 61, maybe 62 Rockwell range. Again, soft iron cladding on either side for your 3 layers construction. The weight and dimensions on these can vary a little bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 118 grams or 4.2 ounces, so very light. Overall length is about 308 millimeters or 12 inches, and the edge length is about 168, 170-ish. 6.6 inches, so just a little oversized from the 165. The thickness on the spine, a little bit thick coming out of the handle, but right at the handle it's fairly thick going into the blade, into the tang, but it thins out really fast right there, and I got about 2.6 at the back, and then these are fairly thin, about 1.8 halfway down, so these are not super thick blades for this style. A little bit of flex in the front half, not much in the back half. And then you can see not a lot of taper to the thickness, a touch, but then it really thins out with that grind. So you can see where the grind comes in from the blade flats and ground towards the edge. And you can see the tips nice and thin on that. Here is the back half of the blade. Thin at the edge as well. This is a nice knife. It's straight. The grinds are clean. Let's see. Height is about 47 millimeters at the back, so fairly reasonably tall, kind of mid-tall height. Octagonal, kind of basic octagonal walnut handle with a black Packwood ferrule on it, which is a stabilized wood product. A pretty good glue-up job and seal job where it goes into the tangles into the handle, so nicely done there. Balance point on this is going to be a little bit more towards the handle just because the blade's kind of light. It's not huge and thick. There's your balance point. So from a pinch grip point of view, the handle is going to be, it's going to be a little heavy on the handle side. Racket grip, maybe a little more neutral. But really nicely crafted blade. Let's get our beauty shot for the video. These ones without too much polish on them are so much easier than the ones that have a high polish with all the lighting in here. Got 2,000 watts of tungsten lighting going. So here is your kanji. It is hand engraved. You can kind of feel that a little bit as you run your finger over it. Looks like they put the KU finish on it, what's known as a kudauchi or blacksmith finish on top of that soft iron cladding. And so they put that on after the kanji was engraved. Otherwise you'd see it'd be really shiny from where they engraved after the KU was put on, so it's done the other way around. So that KU finish gives you a little corrosion resistance, but this is an all reactive blade, and so you want to use it, clean it, dry it really well, and put it away. Don't leave it sit wet. As you start to use it, you'll get a little bit of a patina on the exposed steel parts, and over time that oxidation layer will help protect the knife and settle down over time and create some interesting colors and different textures, shouldn't say textures, but different visual cues on the patina as you get that going. Fit and finish is nicely done. Again, straight, clean grinds. Not really sharp, not a whole lot of rounding on the spine, but not sharp by any means. And then they've done a little bit of work on the choil into the neck, so that's comfortable as well. I'll give it a 5 out of 10 on the edge. You could definitely put a better edge on these. Let's see, we did balance point, did everything else. So let's look at the cutting board profile. Just a nice traditionally constructed Santoku of traditional materials. So this will be a nice addition to any home kitchen if you just use the knife, clean it, and dry it, and put it away. It's not that hard. Obviously no dishwasher, just say no. So here is the edge profile. It's got a little bit of a belly to it. There's not a big old flat spot, but it's a little bit kind of from the middle to the back, kind of a low belly. So you could chop with this a little bit. And then pretty low tip, sheep's foot kind of point to it, which is typical of a Santoku. So this isn't going to rock real high either. Although that tip is swept up just at the edge, last millimeter or two. When you do that, that means you can get it a little higher without digging that tip in. So if you ever got a knife where it's digging in pretty quick on the tip and you want to rock it some more, you can upsweep that when you sharpen it. Just give it a little more upsweep on the last couple millimeters towards the tip, and that'll let you do exactly what I'm doing here, which is do this before you start digging that tip in. And so there you go. So this will rock really nice. Push-pull cuts, tip draws, glide cuts, a little bit of chopping at the back. So considering that it's not a hugely long knife, you got a pretty good variety of techniques you can use with that, given the amount of knife, just cutting edge that they have to work with. So this is the Shiro Kamo Yoru Aogami or Blue number 2 Santoku 165mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.